All right, we are live. Hi, folks. Welcome back to the PagerDuty live stream. Today, we're talking with Jackie and David, and I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Let's just roll with it. Jackie, David, introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to talk about today.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Hey everyone, Jackie Laidman. I'm a principal product manager here at PagerDuty, and I'm working on some exciting AI initiatives that we are bringing into the Operations Cloud. And one of these initiatives is actually this integration, this agentic AI integration between PagerDuty and Logz.io. So I will hand it over to you, David, to talk a bit more.
Thank you, Jackie. So, hi everyone. Nice to meet you all, at least virtually. So, yes, so basically, actually, like we're getting close to reInvent. So, Jackie and myself just met a year ago. Started working on brainstorming through ideas. I'm so happy to say that a year after, like we have already something working, which we're going to show you today. So maybe I'll start maybe with doing like a quick intro about Logz.io. So give me 1 second. I'll share my screen. I'll run you through a few short slides. Second. Can you see my slides?
Yep, there we go.
You can. Okay, cool. So welcome to Logs. Logs is an observability platform. It's a unified observability platform, a beautiful one. Our headquarters are in Boston. Our platform name is the Open 360. It brings together all of your telemetry data, including security, so teams can see the full picture of their software, of their infrastructure, and basically it helps teams spot issues fast and fix them fast. We work with companies of all sizes. We have around 1,200 customers today, many industries. We like to say that any tech companies, companies that are looking to the future, are our best customers. We're built on an open platform. We use open telemetry. Don't believe in vendor lock-in. We are proud. We have smart optimization tools, data optimization tools that allow you to decide what to send to us, where to save it, and to cut your costs. Since early beginning, we've been investing in AI. This is one of the reasons that we're meeting here today. And finally, our support. We have an amazing support, 40-second early on average, the first to respond. Moving forward. So observability today is different, and this is even before taking under consideration vibe coding. What worked in the past doesn't work anymore. The data keeps growing, teams do not, and technical teams cannot keep up. So humans have limits, we know that, and as a result, the mean time to resolution is affected. So we took it upon ourselves to change the observability category. And the way we're doing it, we believe, is through autonomous AI agents. There are various use cases that we think when using those AI agents. So it's going beyond dashboards and classical observability. We have AI agents that start by supporting data analysis from simple to advanced. We have AI agents that do root cause analysis. This is basically the reason that we're meeting here. We have some AI agents that are able to solve incidents by automatically running playbooks. And we are working on something new. We call it the specialized AI agents. The best would be meet us at reInvent and see exactly what it is, but it's mostly around pre-training agents to achieve an objective. Now, we don't have time to go into details about how we've built this AI agents, but I'll focus maybe on a few things. Our AI agents can be activated via a user interface, through API, could schedule certain situations like alerts or deployments. they can operate independently. Okay, that's the autonomous part. These agents don't just analyze, they can trigger APIs, read playbooks, and connect to customer data. And because of this, joint partnership with PagerDuty, I'd like to drill down a little bit around the customer data. So one of the things that we've noticed is that us as Logs, as an observability platform, lack important data. And this data resides in other systems. And this is how we came about to talk with PagerDuty and understand that crucial information is stored inside of PagerDuty. And this is the reason that we partnered up, and this is in a second you're going to see it's working in action. Maybe last sentence before we continue. I want to emphasize that besides building those fancy AI agents, one key thing is building some type of a validation framework that makes sure that we continuously measure what AI agents are doing. We want to trust them. Without this trust, this would never go into production. And we've achieved something very, very remarkable in terms of that. Okay, so I would like to do like a quick demo of Logs. Let me I'll move to a different screen. Can you see it, everyone? Jackie, can you see my screen?
No, we're still seeing your slides.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, reshare when you're other.
Reshare. 1 second, please. Okay. I'm guessing, yeah, you can see it now. Okay.
There we go. Yep.
Excellent. So I'd like to walk you through like we won't go through the entire platform. This will take a long time. I want to show you the AI agents in actions. I'll start with the first one. This is our AI agent that can do basically data analysis. So I'll click AI agents. Here, what they can do is basically get access to all of your observability data. Let me pick one question. For example, service errors in the last 24 hours. When executing this, basically what's happening is the AI agent is triggered, trying to understand the intent of the user, calling the relevant APIs from logs, and retrieving the data. Let's give it a few seconds to run. As you can see, while it's reasoning, it's building diagrams. Basically, explainability is super important when running AI agents. Let's give it a few more seconds. It identified errors, continues to execute. And that's it. And it basically answered the questions, what are our top services with errors, front-end services, and so on and so forth. This basically takes along the work of a user that needs to go through, browse through logs, metrics, traces, and basically finds out and serves the answer. And this is one. This is the data analysis. Another one that I would like to show is our RCA analysis. Let me execute this. This is our demo environment. You can see here one of the exceptions. Let me execute an RCA. So RCA, as all of you know, this is like the holy grail of MTTR. So this is running automatically, identify that there's an exception, trying to understand what is the root cause of that. This is a similar analysis, but much more in-depth than the previous one that I showed you. Let's give it a few more seconds. So this is like a live demo, everyone. So agents take time when doing the reasoning, and that's it. So you see here the root cause analysis and the reason after the exception. We won't go into the details, but I'm sure you can see the value of automating the root cause analysis. And maybe the last thing to show you before moving to showing you what we built with PagerDuty is the fact that in many cases, customers don't want, like if exceptions happen at 2 o'clock in the morning, users prefer for things to happen automatically. So we've tied this to the alerting mechanism, which is basically the essence of our integration with PagerDuty. So if we go into alerts, I'll pick a relevant alert integration, for example, this one. So we won't go into the details of the alert when it happens, but when it happens, it knows how to activate. First of all, it knows which dashboards to read to get information, and it can activate our AI agent plus follow instructions. So this is like the basics of our integration with PagerDuty. And maybe this could be a good time to move to Jackie. And Jackie, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what we've built together.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Thank you. So essentially what makes this integration really powerful is that when an incident hits, PagerDuty isn't just sending logs.io, the current incident data. We are packaging it up, essentially, your organizational memory. And we are talking about past incidents that look similar, resolution notes from the team about how they fixed things before, related incidents. And basically all that knowledge that usually lives in someone's head or buried in old Slack threads, we send all of this context over to this logs.io AI agent, which then combines it with real-time observability data, like David, you just shared. And here's the magic. Instead of your on-call engineer spending the first 30 minutes or so gathering evidence and trying to remember, hey, didn't we see something like this last month? They immediately get an AI-generated root cause analysis that says, hey, this looks a lot like this incident from 3 weeks ago, and here is what worked then, right? And I think what makes it even more powerful is that every incident you run through the system makes the next one faster. So essentially, you're building sort of like a continuously learning system where your incident response actually gets smarter over time, and it's like having this senior engineer who remembers everything, and it's available 24/7.
Cool. So let's show them. Let's show everyone.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So okay, I'll go back to sharing my screen. Okay, I'm happy to say that by now I feel like a power PagerDuty user, enjoying the platform a lot. So what you're seeing here today is our sandbox. So we are seeing here various incidents that are happening because of the integration that Logs has with PagerDuty. Every time that there is an alert, so a new incident is set. So what I would like to do now is to show you how, following what Jackie said, taking historical incidents that were resolved before, basically resolving them, showing you how the information that is fed through notes is sent to Logs that takes this under consideration and basically enriches the RCA using that information. So I'll pick this one. Okay, I'll pick, for example, the accommodation service crash. Let me try to resolve it. I'll add a resolution note. So this is assume that this was one of the things that was done. There is an explanation that was a memory leak and what was the root cause. And I will resolve the incident with this information. Let me resolve this. Okay, so now this incident is resolved. Let me go back to another incident. Let me just make sure that this one was resolved. Recommendation service crash. Yes, this is the one that we just resolved. Now let me pick a different one, this one. I'll open it up. Now what I'm going to show you now is like the magic behind the scenes. I'm going to activate a workflow that does this root cause analysis. In production, it doesn't work like that. In production, we would automate this, but because we want you to show how magic is made, so we're doing it now manually. So I'm going to run a workflow. Manual RCA, again, for demo purposes only. Let's see that it was set. Yes, you can see. So again, this is manually, but in life, this would be, in production, this would be automatic. Now, what's happening now, this might take a few minutes. Basically, PagerDuty is gathering all the context information, as Jackie mentioned, and sending it to logs. Logs agent is basically woken up, takes this information, is conducting a root cause analysis. So this might take a few more minutes. I leave my screen open so we can see together when this is when we get the answer. But maybe we should continue in the meantime. Jackie, maybe in the meantime, like in one sentence, what's day one problem that this would solve for responders and managers?
Yeah. So, I think essentially for responders, it really eliminates the manual toil of opening multiple dashboards and correlating all of these events to try to identify root cause during these critical incidents. For managers, it essentially reduces mean time to resolution by automating evidence gathering that traditionally it would consume, at least probably 30 minutes or so based on, conversations that we are having with customers.
Cool. And what is shared like between PagerDuty and logs? Like maybe you can tell the audience like what gap are we bridging between like observability and incident management?
So essentially, PagerDuty automatically, builds a structured context payload containing this critical information, as we mentioned, like incident details, recent alerts, past incident notes, related incidents, change events. And all of this information is sent to logs.io, right? So logs.io, then basically what it does, it correlates this incident context that it got from PagerDuty with all of the deep observability data that you already have, David, right? Like logs, metrics, traces. And it generates this AI-powered root cause analysis that combines historical incident patterns with real-time technical telemetry.
Cool. Could you walk us like for the first 10 minutes of like priority one with this integration? What would change for the on-call?
Yeah, so I think again we're going back to the point of like why would you want to spend the first 30 minutes or so on like manually gathering this evidence, right, across multiple dashboards and correlating events. The on-call responder, essentially in this case, immediately receives the AI-generated RCA summary that analyzed the incident context, observability signals, and historical patterns to point them directly towards the likely root cause and recommended next steps.
Understood. And maybe like what guardrails do we have like to keep humans in control? We know that it's important. How could teams handle like false positives or low confidence results?
Yeah, so like basically the integration maintains human in the loop control, right? We are leveraging here PagerDuty's incident workflow actions. And those workflow actions, they can be configured for either full automation or to require human approval before execution, right? Which is essential to many customers. Additionally, the AI provides sort of like a likely root cause hypothesis rather than the definitive conclusion, right? So essentially, it positions the RCA as directional guidance that responders validate and act upon based on the expertise and judgment.
Understood. Thank you. And how would teams change the next steps? Like maybe Slack or email updates, Jira tickets, like once the RCA summary is there?
Yeah, so because we are leveraging this the incident workflow engine, essentially it gives the teams flexibility to chain additional actions. So they can do, for instance, they can automate sending emails, which some of our customers prefer for their use case. They can Slack messages to stakeholders once the RCA is complete. They can also trigger any other actions available within the workflow engine. So there are multiple ways and multiple actions that you can achieve by leveraging PagerDuty's incident workflows.
Cool. Thank you, Jackie. Let's see whether we have this result. Let me refresh the page. Let's see what was done automatically behind the scenes. Okay, so I see that there is a new note. Okay, and what you're seeing here is, like, let me highlight. Is the font large enough? Can you read? Let me maybe increase it.
Yeah, maybe zoom in a bit.
Yeah, up. Maybe it's too big, but okay.
Nice.
Okay, so what you can see here is that our root cause and the logs IO root cause analysis received the context from PagerDuty. And what you can see here that like you can read that there was a memory leak. Okay, this is exactly what was appeared in the last resolution, the note I resolved in the last incident. Why is this important? This is important because it just ties the missing information. Like we know that part of root cause analysis is gathering the information, important information. So here you can see that this was done automatically by the AI agents because of this integration. Like we think this is pretty cool, pretty advanced, and maybe now would be a good time, Jackie. Maybe you can tell everyone, like maybe tell a little bit about real use cases where our customers are already enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely, David. This is very exciting. So actually, like, let me tell you about Sophos, which is a global cybersecurity company, and their senior manager of SRE shared some really impressive results with us. He said that their development teams are now able to quickly pinpoint root cause when issues pop up, and they're saving an average of 20 minutes per incident thanks to streamlined troubleshooting. Now, 20 minutes might not sound like a huge deal at first, but think about it. When you're dealing with dozens or even hundreds of incidents, those minutes really add up fast. And what changed for Sophos is that they've gone from this manual context switching nightmare where engineers are jumping between dashboards trying to piece things together to getting AI-powered root cause analysis delivered right where they're already working. So their teams are essentially resolving issues faster and spending well less time firefighting, and actually have a bandwidth to focus on building and improving their systems instead of constantly troubleshooting the same problems over and over.
And maybe like this is an opportunity, like, to do a shout out to the Sophos amazing team that worked early on together with us building this. We couldn't have done this without you, and again, highly appreciated. And we're so happy that you're enjoying it and today in production.
Yeah, thank you for highlighting that, great partnership with Sophos, and we are, constantly looking to continue, this collaboration with Sophos and other customers, and we are really excited about, seeing the benefits that customers are getting by us building this integration.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so maybe I'd like maybe to elaborate a little bit about the configurability between PagerDuty and Logs.io. I think it's important. So I'd like to say that this handoff is highly configurable. It's built on a standard payload. Teams can fine-tune it in various ways. First, you can choose which workflows and services trigger this RCA. This means that you don't need to fire deep analysis for every alert, only for the ones that you think that it's important, that really matters. You can always scope it by a service or an incident type, which will help you, like, again, keep things focused. The second thing is that this is everything is role-based, so you can decide who can use this, who would get access to the response. PagerDuty has strict governance and has tight security measures. And third, and like super important, you control what's happening next. Like based on the RCA results, you can decide which actions to fire. Like you could create a follow-up task, you could decide to send a notification, or even trigger a remediation workflow. And like the philosophy that we're following is that it needs to be reliable but still flexible. So everything needs to be consistent, everything should run smoothly, but you keep full control of what gets analyzed and who sees it and what happens afterwards. And
that's great. Yeah, but
yeah, and I'd like to. Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
No, we have so many customers who have so many different needs. Like having that kind of configurability is very,
Cool.
it will be very important for so many folks. So, yeah.
Cool. And I'd like maybe to focus to reiterate a little bit about keeping the humans in control. So we've been doing RCA, automatic RCA, for a while now. And I think it's important that you see RCA, the AI-driven RCA, as an hypothesis. It's not a fact. By the way, even when people do RCA, in many cases it's a hypothesis and not a fact. What we did do, and which is very important, is that the RCA that you get from the logs system is transparent. It is guided to provide details and explain why it's making its decisions. So then responders can judge whether they want to trust it or not. And basically the incident responders stay in full control. There won't be any fixes or automatic executions without human approval. We have guardrails both on the logs side as well as on the PagerDuty workflows. You can create like review gates, change approvals, and basically you can have your own processes to act as safety net. And it doesn't stop there, right? So we encourage the responders to add notes, corrections, and the context, because next time this will be fed into the RCA. And this what makes this continuous learning, it's what would make the next analysis more accurate, and in essence build some kind of an organizational memory. So the next time there is an incident, the RCA would be better. And this is how the AI keeps getting better, and how resolutions are faster and smart. And
Thank you.
Jackie,
if I may, some question related to that we often, will get from customers, like, so how do we turn the RCA summaries into like sort of like a durable knowledge and better post-incident reviews, right? So I think that the key to converting those RCA summaries into something, like durable knowledge is really treating, as you stated, David, the incident notes as structured and searchable evidence that is linked directly to the post-incident reviews, and with consistent tagging, by service, component, symptom, to essentially create a queryable knowledge base. Looking ahead, I'm excited to share some of the things that we are doing to make it even more impactful. Is we are building deeper integration with where PagerDuty SRE agent and PagerDuty Scribe agent maintain shared memory of incident patterns, resolutions, meeting transcripts, and decision-making context captured during troubleshooting. And this means that future post-incident reviews will incorporate not just what happened, but what responders discussed and why certain approaches work, while the SRE agent leverages this enriched historical context, including the RCA from logs.io, to provide increasingly accurate recommendations. So essentially, every incident becomes training data that makes the entire operation smarter and more resilient over time.
Cool. By the way, what happens if the AI analysis would fail or would have problems?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting one. I think that the AI analysis never really blocks, the incident response. It only helps when it can. So, if something goes wrong, the team can still, keep working normally. Essentially like any API issues or timeouts, the system automatically retries, right? If that fails, responders can manually trigger the analysis later. If there is any missing or incomplete data, the AI still provides its best analysis, but flags low confidence, so to verify manually. Essentially, the best practice is really adding a fallback step to your runbooks. Like if AI analysis is unavailable or shows low confidence, use the standard manual troubleshooting process. Essentially, I think the key takeaway is like the integration enhances the response, but it doesn't create a critical dependencies. So if it's not available for whatever reason, you simply operate the same way you did before.
I'm absolutely certain that our audience is thinking about like major incidents or, I don't know, tens of alerts. Like, would this scale?
Yeah, I mean, I think that essentially the system is designed in a way to handle large-scale incidents through several key mechanisms. So, PagerDuty's correlation agent compresses alert storms into manageable parent incidents. And while the RCA focuses specifically on the implicated services rather than analyzing everything at once. So, to prevent system overload, you should really stagger triggers to avoid fan-out effects and implement sort of like one RCA per parent incident pattern, right? It's also important to actively monitor workflow concurrency and adjust conditions as needed to maintain optimal performance during these high volume events.
Cool. Maybe like as we are getting close to the end of our session today, I'd like maybe to talk a bit about like the practicality of this. Like how would you roll this out in your organization? So first, this is relying on the fact that we are, this is targeting a joint customers, or businesses that have both PagerDuty and logs.io. So the first thing we would do is, I would recommend is just connect. If you're not doing this already, have logs.io alerts notify PagerDuty. And then you should go into your workflows and initiate the RCA action. This was added several months ago. I suggest you pick an existing workflow, something that you already have, you know how to execute, and add this new action, initiate the RCA, and test an incident, and have a look on the posted on the RCA notes, and if you see that everything is okay, just update your runbooks to check RCA every time that this happens, and you can always chain this to a notification so you can see that this is working, and start iterating weekly or something in that sort. When you see that it's working. Now, if you need our help, if you need either the PagerDuty or Logs help, you want to know to implement it, and you're not exactly sure how, so talk to your AEs, ask them how to get started. The implementation is super simple, and we will be releasing in the near future like a detailed implementation guide that you could use to get you started. My 2 cents, start using it. This would dramatically improve the velocity of resolution, incident handling and resolution.
If I can add, David, in the same time, like just so that everyone is aware, right? It's still early days, and we are seeing some great customers, some great mutual customers that are leveraging this integration. But at the same time, we are always open to feedback and any ideas as for how we can improve it in the future, right? We already have some solid plans for making it even more impactful with the integration of additional PagerDuty AI agents and making it more bi-directional. But we are always open to working closely with mutual customers that are interested in really seeing additional use cases that we can potentially achieve.
Absolutely, absolutely. Happy to build the future together with customers. This is the only way that it works. Proud of what we've built. Cool. Do we have any questions, Mandy, maybe from the audience?
We haven't had anything come in. There's still a few folks hanging out there. So if you're still with us and you have any questions, we'll have a couple minutes here. There's a little bit of a lag, so we'll let it run a little bit here for the folks on LinkedIn. We can patter a little bit before log off, just to make sure we catch everybody over there. But yeah, this has been great. So super exciting to see all of that. I posted the link to the post from our engineering blog as well for folks who want to follow up with that. And if anybody has any questions, you can reach out to your account teams on either side, or you can hit us up on the PagerDuty community, and we will route your question to where it needs to go to get you answers for anything there as well. That's at community.pagerduty.com. So yeah, we're always here to help. So as folks are experimenting with these super powerful and very flexible tools, you'll get a lot out of them. So we want to make sure you get to the right place there. So,
cool.
All right, looks like, let me see, double check over here on LinkedIn. Nope, I got nothing, other questions there. So if you're watching us on YouTube later and you do have a question, like I said, post in the community forums, PagerDuty, and we will get your questions answered. So yeah, I think that that wraps us up for today. This has been great, guys. It's amazing to see what's been built. Because the first time I guess you were on together was like June or whatever. It's been a lot of work being done in the meantime. So this is great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, David. Thank you, man.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Bye.